Good morning, and welcome to our meditation time. Thank you for braving the snow and being with us, and I welcome our virtual community as well. So I invite you to get comfortable. Just relax into the chair. Close your eyes if you like. And as you relax, take some slow, deep breaths. Feel the chair beneath you fully supporting you. It's good and it's safe to be here now. And as you gently breathe, imagine you're breathing in to your heart center. Let any tension or busy thoughts go. Feel yourself relaxing into that deep, quiet place inside. As you rest here, imagine any burden, any worries are offered in faith to the loving divine. Faith is the power of perception, expectation, and assurance. Faith awakens the inner spiritual forces that have the power to do anything. Faith transcends the limitations of fear, of physical pain, of mental depression. Faith leads us into a greater communion with God. And as we go into the silence, an affirmation you could take with you is something like, I have faith that Spirit is moving on my behalf to reveal more wholeness, more freedom, more health, more peace, and more abundance. And as we move into the silence now, open to your faith, that place of faith inside you, to the still, small voice that guides you. Gently come back. Perhaps wiggle your toes. Take some deeper breaths. Know that you are taking this precious time of meditation into your life, and know that it stays with you throughout the day. Remember, this deep well of faith and love is always available to you. As this sacred time of silence comes to a close, we welcome our church family, both in person and virtually. We give thanks for Dr. Richard, for the musicians, for all the volunteers that are here. And mostly we give thanks for our growing, wonderful, connected community. Have a blessed day, and so it is. Amen.
diving in, getting ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life.
invite you to join me in a time of reflection, a time of remembering. And if you're comfortable doing so, I invite you actually to keep your eyes open this morning so that we can use the gift of our vision to remember what is true. And also invite us to use our physicality this morning in this prayer. And if you just want to follow with me and repeat this prayer. God is. I am. I express. I pray. I practice. And I breathe. God is. I am. I express. I pray. I practice. And I breathe. And so it is.
Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of love. Get ready, my soul. And now, if you'd like to stand, if you're able, to welcome our youth. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light in this world. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light in this world. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright.
Good morning. I just want to point out that they actually walked all the way in with these friends on their heads, so that's talent. This one in particular is a little duck that we got at Elevated Sports yesterday for our meetup, and we had a really good time, so it was a lot of fun. And it's going on our youth altar downstairs, so every altar needs a small green duck. Last week, we went to the food bank with all of our donations that we received from you. And the total was astounding, 628 pounds of food to the Lynnwood Food Bank. Yeah. And San Antonio
did an astounding job as well with 813 pounds. I know. The real winners here were the food banks. And it was really awesome to compete and have fun. And we had, the Lynnwood Food Bank was so grateful to receive such a large donation. So thank you, everyone, for all of the food. I'm just going to give you a couple numbers that we learned as we took the tour last Sunday from Lynnwood Food Bank. They are in need of donations. In 2019, just before COVID, they were serving 43,000 people per year. In 2022, after COVID, and it's continuing to rise, the needs, they are at 104,000 at 2022. So they have almost tripled the amount of service that they are providing to our community. South Sound is the area in all of our surrounding areas, including King County, and so South County, actually, is showing the most growing need at the food banks. So they are looking for fresh food in particular, and lots, all of your donations are helpful. So I thought I would pass that on and just say that our 628 pounds is going to be really gratefully received and be helpful to so many. So thank you. Would you please rise and join me in blessing our youth? You are the light in this world. Let it shine so bright.
Thanks, and now I welcome you to stay standing as you're able, greet each other, and respecting the sticker colors. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright.
What a great crew we have today. Good morning, everyone. Well, good morning. Welcome to Unity's Sunday morning service. We are so thrilled that you are joining us here today. My name is Ken Urie, and I'm grateful to be a longtime member of this amazing community. We want you to know for sure that this is a community where everyone is welcome, without exception. Here at Unity, you are included in love's universal message that every person is valuable, that everyone is deserving of kindness, acceptance, and inclusion. Here at Unity, everyone is our neighbor. There is no distant other. We are one. We honor every aspect of your wonderful being. We hope that you will find a true felt sense of belonging in this place, and we also hope that you will leave feeling inspired and uplifted. At Unity, we honor you, and we see you for who you really are and who you are becoming, a divine expression in our world. Welcome, Unity.
Cool morning coaxes colds foot open by the side of the road. Naked lilac leaves o'er the split rail to greet the meadow marigold. Fiery red azaleas flare, twisting wisteria climbs the garden wall. Perfect hearts that bleed tremble on their stem. Purple lipstick iris uncurls. Through my open window, taking root in the dirt. I'm happy with what I've got, and now I see I've got a lot. Violets nestle in blades of grass, wild mustard hides the well-worn path. Spring beauty grows with fiddlehead ferns, sturdy primrose pushes up through last year's leaves. Through my open window, taking root in the dirt. I'm happy with what I've got, and now I see I've got a lot. How can I hold these flowers in my hand so I don't forget what is real once through my open window, taking root in the dirt. I'm happy with what I've got, and now I see I've got a lot. Cool morning coaxes colt's foot open by the side of the road.
Good morning. And good morning. It is so nice to see you. It is so nice to see you. You, yet again, are the highlight of my week. So thank you for being here. I begin with words of gratitude. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thanks to the crew. Thanks to the platform. Thanks to Reverend Ken, as I like to call him. And thanks to Amanda Birdsall. My goodness gracious. My goodness gracious. If you are a member of our virtual audience this morning, please consider identifying your geography. Allow our social media host the opportunity to greet you. Allow those in our physical sanctuary the opportunity to greet you. Next Sunday, following this service, newcomer potluck. If you are a newcomer to Unity in Lynnwood, now what does that mean? Well, you get to decide You get to decide. If you are a newcomer to Unity in Lynnwood, join us for lunch. Meet some leaders, ask some questions, connect with others. Those who do not consider themselves to be newcomers to Unity in Lynnwood, you are invited to bring lunch. To bring lunch. We welcome Jennifer Lovejoy, Pascaline from Nairobi, Dana, Kate, Dale, Jana, and the new puppy. Oh, to see the new puppy, Cindy Gallagher, Welaine Sharples. If you are a member of our virtual sanctuary, take a breath. Allow us to greet you this morning. Those in our physical space, say, welcome. Welcome. We see you. We see the truth of you. We see the infinite light of you. We see the deepest depths of you. This is how we know you. And so it is. Practical spirituality, welcoming community. That mission statement is so short in word, so broad in meaning. Every week I like to remind myself of how this might be brought into greater specificity with one of the statements we developed in conversation with your board of trustees in 2014. Today I offer the fourth of those statements. It reads as follows: we believe each person, that is you. To be clear, we believe each person is an individualized expression of divinity itself, and we accept each person as such without condition, question, or exception. As a matter of principle, then, it can be said that we at Unity in Lynnwood love boldly. If you would like to pray with someone following the conclusion of our conversation this morning, bring yourself to this general geography where you will meet one of our trained prayer chaplains that you might anticipate who they are this morning. I will invite those in service to you to raise a hand or to stand, please. Do keep in mind the nearest chaplain may be behind you. Yes, chaplains in the back of the room. If you're a member of our virtual sanctuary this morning and you would like to pray with someone following the conclusion of our time together, start the process by writing prayer@unityinlynnwood.org. Include a working telephone number and expect a call within a couple hours. We will have a short time of meditation following today's service. During that short time, your prayer chaplains will surround you. They will simply position themselves around the room and hold you in prayer. I want you to know that in advance. What a gift it is to know that in any day, in any hour, there are people holding you in prayer. Did you know that? It's true. It's true. Words of invocation, take them in the manner best suited to you, whether spoken aloud or whispered or simply heard. They read as follows, though imaged and named variously. There is a singular and eternal ground of being from which all life emanates and into which all life retreats. We choose to call this ground of being God. By extension, we come to understand that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. We gather today to remember such truths, to celebrate our unity, and to honor all life. Have I said thank you yet today? You believe so. Allow me to say it again. For the gift of you, thank you. 40 is, at least for today, it is my favorite number in the Judeo-Christian library. Now, if you're like me, with your post-Enlightenment mindset, 40 conjures a concrete number of widgets, a concrete number of people, a concrete number of degrees. I was beginning to wonder if I would ever experience 40 degrees again. A concrete number of minutes, a concrete number of days, a concrete number of years, and so forth. You see, if you're like me with your post-Enlightenment mindset, 40 conjures something that can be measured on a scale or charted on a graph. But to approach 40, as set forth in the Judeo-Christian library with such a post-Enlightenment mindset, is to miss the point. In biblical context, as an example, for an individual deemed impure to be made pure, a ritual bath containing some 40 measures of water was what it took. In biblical context, for a world deemed impure, think about Cain and Abel now. For a world deemed impure to be made pure again, a ritual bath containing some 40 days and 40 nights of water was what it took. Of course, I'm referring to the epic flood mythology of Genesis. It is an epic mythology which predates Genesis by some thousands of years. You maybe didn't know that. It appears in Judaism, of course, but it also appears in Hinduism, in Islam, African and American indigenous traditions, to name but a few. Of course, the details vary. For Elijah to escape the evil queen for the mountain of God, it was a trek across a desert lasting some 40 days. For the emancipated Hebrews to become a unified nation, another trek lasting some 40 years was what it took. And for their emancipator, of course you know his name to be Moses, for their emancipator to receive the so-called 10 Commandments, that's a different conversation for a different Sunday, a stay on Mount Sinai lasting another 40 days was what it took. And of course, for the public launch, for the public appearance of that itinerant Jewish healer, mystic, miracle worker, that social change agent we call Jesus, he wouldn't recognize that name if you were to speak it aloud, you know. It was a wilderness experience lasting, and you have already guessed it, 40 days. That's what it took. So assuming some measure of willingness on your part to seek a wisdom deeper than that which can be revealed by a post-Enlightenment mindset that insists upon data that can be measured on a scale or charted on a graph, we arrive at the question of the morning. What exactly is this 40? And what does it mean to me? And I would suggest that whether we look to the journey of Moses or the journey of Elijah, the journey of the emancipated Hebrews, or the journey of Jesus himself, it seems that the journey of 40 represents whatever it takes to get from old life no longer to new life not yet. And I imagine you can relate. Sometimes this journey of 40 is initiated by a loss. If you have ever experienced the transition of a loved one, if you have ever experienced the death of a loved one, and who among us hasn't, you know about the journey from old life no longer to new life not yet. Into the sea you go, we could say. Sometimes this journey of 40 is initiated by a circumstance, a new job, a new diagnoses, a new love. I think it's reasonable to suggest that COVID-19 finds all of us between old life no longer and new life not yet. I mean, who we are to become in the workplace is still unfolding. Who we are to become in social settings is still unfolding. Who we are to become in spiritual understanding even is still unfolding. Into the desert we go, we might say. Sometimes this journey of 40 is initiated by a calling, a tenacious dream, maybe a deep desire. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harvey Milk, Stephen Hawking, each of these noble souls knew about a journey of 40 initiated by a calling. Each of these noble souls knew what it meant to leave the comforts of a mediocrity for the vulnerabilities of a possibility. Off to the wilderness they go, we might say. So whether we consider imagery such as a sea or a desert or a wilderness, I think we can infer that this journey of 40, through whatever it takes to get from old life no longer to new life not yet, well, it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. It requires courage and it requires faith, perhaps. After all, the writers didn't imagine Moses to be on a mountain in Vale, and they didn't imagine Jesus to be in a desert in Sedona. It was Marcus Borg, the great theologian and teacher and writer, who spoke to this journey of 40, a journey superimposed by the early church onto the crucifixion, resurrection narrative. Whew, here he goes. Borg said the following: some of us may need to die to specific things in our lives, perhaps to a behavior that has become destructive or dysfunctional, perhaps to a relationship that has ended or gone bad, perhaps to an unresolved grief or to a stage in our life that it's time to leave, perhaps to our self-preoccupation, even to a deadness in our lives. It is possible to leave the land of the dead, he says. So the journey of Lent is about being born again, about dying and rising, about mortality and transformation. And who among us doesn't yearn for this? Who of us doesn't yearn for a fuller connection to life? Who doesn't yearn for an identity that releases us from anxiety and self-preoccupation? To be born again, it seems to me, corresponds to our deepest yearning. He concludes by saying, may we this Lent experience that internal transformation that is at the center of the Christian life. May we experience being born again. End quote. Marcus Borg. So I say welcome to Lent 2023 at Unity in Lynnwood. Welcome to that exploration of that journey of 40, that whatever it takes to get from old life no longer to new life not yet. In the end, I would suggest that this exploration is one of profound comfort because its promise is that beyond the discomforts of being at sea or in the desert or in the wilderness, the value of the journey will make itself known. It will make itself known. Now, whether life finds us on a journey of 40 because of loss or because of circumstance or because of a calling, history has suggested some practices which are designed to support us. Now, the common practice associated with this Lenten season is, of course, fasting. And fasting certainly isn't unique to Jews or Christians. Fasting is regularly practiced by Buddhists and Muslims, Taoists, Jainists, Hindus, dieters. And if you're like me, when you think of this fasting, the first thing that comes to mind, of course, is chocolate. It is true, isn't it? I have to tell you, chocolate's not a big deal for me. For me to give up chocolate is tantamount to my giving up Nicolas Cage movies or Glamour magazine, cucumbers maybe. In other words, it is pretty much a non-issue for me. If you want it to matter to me, tell me I have to give up coffee. If you want it to matter to me, tell me I have to give up good shoes. Tell me I have to give up pizza. And for many of us, fasting introduces overtones. Is this you? It introduces overtones that goes something like this. I have to give up something for Lent because I'm guilty. Oh, no show of hands, please. And so it is that I would invite us into this Lenten season by inviting you to consider that, like the Lenten season itself, original sin is another construct of early church patriarchs who would leverage matters of piety to ends of power and politic. You were not born tainted and tossed upon some obstacle course of sensory temptation that you might struggle and strain to re-earn God's favor before you die. Original sin is antagonistic to the tone of the Judeo-Christian tradition and to common sense itself. You don't have to earn God any more than the fish has to earn the water within which it floats. You don't have to earn God any more than the bird has to earn the air upon which it soars. You don't have to be better for God. You don't have to be more for God. You do not have to be holier for God. You just have to be available. You have to be available. The water says, I've been here all along, now float. The air says, I've been here all along, now soar. God says, I've been here all along. Now, allow. In a more traditional setting, I might say it this way: God has loved you since before you knew yourself to be you, and that this has never changed, will never change, can never change. I might say that God has a refrigerator door, and that your picture hangs right in the middle of it, tucked between shots of Hank Aaron, Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Bach, Buddha, Patrick Mahomes. Oh, pardon me, I think my Kansas City showed there for a second. Nor did Jesus die some 2,000 years ago because of something you did wrong last week. Jesus died some 2,000 years past because his kingdom of heaven stood in direct tension with what we would call a kingdom of Caesar, a social order in which the lives of the marginalized many were sacrificed for the comforts of the powerful few. This substitutionary sacrifice idea, that's what it's called, is just another later construct of that patriarchal political power machine in which power and politic and piety were bound one to the other and legitimized by those it benefited. Amen. Now, yes, you may say amen. Together, please. Amen. Now, for many of us, fasting introduces overtones that go something like this. Here's another one for you. I have to give up something for Lent because I'm flawed. And so I would yet again launch the Lenten series at Unity in Lynnwood by inviting you to consider that your incarnation isn't tantamount to your having somehow fallen from God. God, again, not some cranky man on a cloud, but that ground of all beingness and possibility has never been withheld from you. Never will be withheld from you, cannot be withheld from you. And yet, in this popular Western belief that we are flawed, we glorify the lowest within us despite the grandest within us. We've become like the proverbial circus elephant who spends his life walking in circles around a spindly peg because he has come to believe in that thin string that dangles around his powerful leg. We continue to glorify the lowest within us despite the grandest within us, when the very soul of us would have us glorify the grandest within us despite the lowest. If you look around, you will see that great souls are not great souls because they were pious and perfect. Great souls are great souls because they are ostentatious and audacious. Lives of undeniable beauty and light have been lived by wildly imperfect people, from George Washington to Billie Holiday to Malcolm X to my beloved John Denver. No, not John Denver, not my John Denver. Their contributions to our world were not born of their perfection, but of their courage. Their contributions to our world arose because they glorified the grandest that was within them, despite the lowest that was within them. Now, for us in Unity, we tend to consider Lent within the frame offered by Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore, who wrote this way, and I quote, "In fasting, we as metaphysicians, as metaphysically minded folk, abstain from error thinking, and we meditate on spiritual truth until we incorporate it into the consciousness." How do you like that? Isn't that better? I mean, you can give up chocolate if you want, but so over each of the next 4 weeks, I will highlight a different practice. As you arrive, you're welcome to grab one of the cards. If you're a member of our virtual sanctuary today, you are welcome to write administration at Unity in Lynnwood. We will send you a card. In week 2, you will be challenged to find ways to give. Okay, no one looks too shocked by that one. In week 3, you will be challenged to deepen or to expand whatever spiritual practices you may already use to pray, as the way history might say it. In week 4, you will be challenged to repent. Now, let me say, this is not your grandparents' repentance. To repent is better understood as to take a good long look at the road you are traveling. And if you don't like that road, turn. Turn. I have to admit, I have never been Catholic, but I've always had a fascination with the Catholic sacrament of confession. Whew. Maybe we, in a future creative moment, might develop something of a unity confessional. I mean, I have to believe it would feel so good to ritualize the acceptance of forgiveness from time to time, even as we recognize that we are the ones who issued the condemnation in the first place. In week 5, you'll be challenged to forgive. Those are your practices for Lent 2023 at Unity in Lynnwood. In week 5, you will be challenged to forgive. It was our friend, Bishop John Shelby Spong, who spoke to this season using these words. While humanity has spent the past 2,000 years looking backward and celebrating the notion that the divine might express as human, humanity now has to spend the next 2,000 years looking forward and accepting the dictate that the human might express as divine. So let the encouragement of this morning be that you embark upon this exploration of the universal journey of 40, not in acknowledgement of some inherent guilt or innate flaw, but do so in acknowledgement of the audacious possibilities of God through you. Take a deep breath. Let's close the outer eyes. For 3 or 4 minutes, as chaplains hold us in prayer, let us consider, reflect, entertain, delight, observe, and we take another breath together. If you're comfortable doing so, close the outer eyes, those sensory eyes that would speak to us of limitation, partiality, separation. So yet again, let it be said that we close the outer eyes, not that we would turn from truth, but that we might perceive a higher truth. We breathe again. Said another way, perhaps for a few moments we avail ourselves to the God beyond words. To the God even beyond intellect. A God better known as a deep knowing, an experience maybe. And if you're like me, you might sense the very physicality of you beginning to slow, or to soften, even to open. And into such a prepared vessel, I simply reconsider the idea. A journey of 40. What might that mean to me today? Over upcoming weeks, even. A journey between old life no longer and new life not yet. We need neither accept nor reject that which appears. We can simply observe. Maybe as affirmation, we consider those words set forth in which it is imagined, yea, though I walk. The Lord is with me. Yea, though I walk, principle is with me. Yea, though I walk, God is with me. So I give thanks. I give thanks that of my egoic self, yet again, I give thanks that I need not push, that I need not coerce, manipulate, resist, control, make it happen. I need only become available to that which is busy being itself through me. Yea, though I walk, you are with me. So my eyes become new. They become eyes of wonder, eyes of anticipation, eyes of even excitement about a journey that carries a promise of blessing. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And amen.
Thank you, Dr. Richard. We live in a universe that is reciprocal and circulating by its very nature. At UIL, we offer opportunities to cooperate with this natural way of giving and receiving. While the design of our community invites and encourages each of us to welcome and receive what is offered to each of us here, we also have the chance to give in support of this community. One of the ways we give is through our financial resources. And while each of our financial gifts certainly matter here at Unity in Lynnwood, we suggest that most importantly, our financial giving matters to us. Each act of giving makes a profound difference here at UIL and makes a profound difference for us. Giving options appear on your screen, and for those choosing to give a physical gift, the ushers will gratefully pass baskets. If you're curious about the spiritual practice of giving or would like information about UIL's programs of regular giving, planned giving, or legacy giving, please grab a Giver's Circle brochure or write Dr. Richard directly. And for those already participating in the Giver's Circle program, we extend a special thank you. Please join me in our affirmation as it appears on the screen. I give freely and fearlessly, fulfilling the law of giving and receiving.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Thank you, Amanda. Well, our Sunday morning services serve as sort of a weekly flagship here at UIL. We also offer a variety of other events and community activities created to help you remember who you are and who you're becoming. Here's the good news. Every aspect of Unity in Lynnwood is intentionally designed to support you on your spiritual life journey. I'm going to highlight some of our upcoming events, and then you get to decide which of those offerings will best support you on your next spiritual steps. But before I do that, I want to say hello to anyone who might be visiting us for the first time would like to say hello. If you want to put your hand in the air, we'll give you some applause. Anyone for the first? Hello, nice to see you. Anyone else? We're so glad you're here. Welcome. In the chair back in front of you, you will see some resources there, some newcomers information, prayer request card, a giving card, a note card, and a stay in touch card. And if you are new today, or you are newer, or you just have updated contact information, you can use the stay in touch card to provide us your contact information that will result in a couple emails each month that are designed to support you, provide you information about what's happening here in our community, and give you some uplift and some inspiration as well. So I invite you to do that. And after the service, if you'd like to come back to the Welcome and Information Center back there, you can meet me there, and I'd love to meet you, talk with you, and provide you all information about things happening here at UIL. I even have some treats today, actually, if anyone's interested in coming and get something there. So, and no, you don't have to be new. Come get a treat and just chat with me. If you are new or newer, you can also come to the Soul Things gift shop and bookstore and pick up a complimentary copy of our Daily Word. The Daily Word is a Unity publication that is designed to support you and be an inspiration for our daily living. This is our complimentary copy for those who are newer. And if you are interested in actually purchasing an ongoing subscription to the Daily Word, mine just came in the mail. And it made me unreasonably happy to get the mail that day. I don't know what it is, but this is good stuff. So those are available for purchase as well. And of course, you can make your way to the Friendship Hall after service. Everyone's invited to do that and join in a cup of coffee, some beverage, some snacks, and just some continued good conversation and connection. We have several invitations I want to highlight, but before I do that, I want to welcome Michelle Van Eyck to the platform for a special invitation and announcement. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, everybody. Hello. As you know, my name is Michelle. I am the volunteer coordinator here at Unity in Lynnwood. My job is to connect all who are ready to volunteer service opportunities that may speak to you. I invite you to look deep into your soul and to feel into what your heart is wanting to contribute to your spiritual family here at Unity in Lynnwood. To help, we will be having a volunteer fair on March 5th, along with the newcomers potluck. There will be several ministries represented: Welcome, Hospitality, Shuttle, Youth and Family, Events, Audiovisual, Administration, Soul Things, which is the gift shop, Building, Grounds, and Social Media. If you are in our spiritual community, we have volunteer opportunities for you as well. If you are interested, please write me at volunteer@unityinlynnwood.org. I hope you all come out next Sunday, March 5th, and enjoy our newcomers potluck lunch and look at all our wonderful ministries to see what may make your heart sing here at Unity in Lynnwood. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. You can check out our many offerings of our small group ministry on the there they are, yep, on the screen, and check out what might be of service and support to you. I want to highlight a few upcoming events and activities. There's going to be a chili cook-off here, complete with cornbread. Good stuff. Coming up on March 12th, following our service, and that's hosted by our UIL's men's group for our greater community. And we also have an Easter choir coming up, and we have Easter choir rehearsal with no experience necessary to join, and that starts on Sunday, March 19th at 12:30. And you are also invited to join others every Wednesday at noon in this sanctuary for Wednesday practice, a quiet spiritual practice of your choice here with others. And as we prepare to celebrate 20 years here in this physical space, 20 years in this building, please register for any portion of our interior or exterior cleanup party on Saturday, April 1st at 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And for all events, please register by going to our website, unityinlynnwood.org. You can go to the calendar page, find the event, click on the event, and that will provide you a registration. You fill out the registration, and then you get a confirmation that you're signed up for the event. It's that easy. And of course, for all of these events, everyone is welcome.
So I live on the top of something of a mountain. It's high. I mean, think Walton family. For the 6 of you who remember the Waltons. And starting in the wee hours of the morning, looking in at the time of formal business, about 6 o'clock in the morning, the snow is whirling and the wind is blowing, and I have 2 people on the ground here looking at the parking lot and observing the roads, and we decided to roll the dice and to brave the circumstances and to hold in-person service today. So I reached the end of the driveway, which is about a mile long. And from the top of the driveway to the bottom of the driveway, it's like a spring day. And then we arrive here, and I look at this, and the forecast was 6 to 8 inches of snow, and I find myself thinking, maybe I cannot just arbitrarily trust everything the media tells me anymore. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's something to a teaching that says, turn within, turn within, turn within. Let there be the cultivation of a relationship with a core of wisdom at the very heart of you that, yet again, knows what it's doing. Take a deep breath. Let's close the eyes again. Let's close with that same discipline, that same practice. It matters not what we call it. I choose to call it prayer, and I entertain the idea, yea, though I walk, yea, though I walk. This is the idea I take into my closing prayer, the image of journey, yea, though I walk. You are with me. What a beautiful idea. There is a wisdom that is with me. There is a sufficiency that is within me. There is a life that is with me. Yea, though I walk, you are with me. Let's take that together. It goes like this. Yea, though I walk, you are with me. Together. Yea, though I walk, you are with me. Again. Yea, though I walk, you are with me. Maybe we make it an as this time. Yea, as I walk, you are with me. Let this be a comforting consciousness, a daring idea, deemed worthy to accompany you into the beginning of this next week and to launch a truly holy season. And we close our time together as we always do with sung words of blessing, with sung words of farewell.
May the long time sun